Hey everybody, it's Harry from Slaphead Eddie BBQ, trudging through another airport today at the Minneapolis, heading to see my good buddy Dave Anderson. So you know him more as Famous Dave, the founder of the Famous Dave restaurant chain. We're gonna have a lot of fun at his cabin and lake, cooking some barbecue. He's gonna show me his aquarium, smoker, and all the cool stuff he has, and all the recipes that we're gonna be cooking together in this weekend collab with Harry Soo and Dave Anderson. All right, I'm with Famous Dave, and we are at the grocery store, and we're gonna be cooking some ribs later. So, Dave, what do you think? It's
Famous Dave's.
pretty good sauce.
I think it's really a great sauce.
And you have so many kinds of sauce here, right? We have a rich, sassy, Texas Pit, Red Devil, Devil Spit. Wow, you have like what 10 different kinds of sauces here. Which is your favorite?
That's like asking somebody who's their favorite kid. They're all my kids. I love them all.
So we definitely need some. We're gonna be cooking some ribs, and Dave's got a pineapple. We're gonna surprise you guys later with Dave's aquarium smoker. I flew all the way from Los Angeles to learn from Dave. Check out his aquarium smoker. Since you're making that, I should make something too, right? Something quick. Hellman's mayo. We're gonna have a 3-hour fist fight here. Is it gonna be golden brown or dark brown? What's the
Dark
difference?
brown.
Dark brown.
It has a little bit more of that molassesy flavor. And by the way, when you're getting sugar, always get cane sugar, because any brown sugar that doesn't say cane sugar is beet sugar. These ribs here are like a whole spare, where you got the St. Louis cut, and then you got the rib tips on it. I like to see a lot of fat in them, because the more fat is like marbling. That would be like a steak without marbling. I made St. Louis rib. I like the fat in it. Loin backs are good, but they're a little bit leaner.
So Famous Dave's gonna teach you guys how to trim a whole spare into a St. Louis with the rib tips. Look at how juicy that is. Isn't it beautiful? That's Famous Dave's famous brisket, and cook on the old hickory pit. And Dave is a pitmaster who made it, right? I know you told me about the wood earlier. What was it about the wood?
We use natural indigenous oak from the area.
All right, looks gorgeous here. All right, let's grab a slice here. There we go. Okay. All right.
This is the best brisket there is.
I'll vouch for that. Really, really good brisket. Excellent brisket. Very moist. Just amount of saltiness on it. Not too smoky. I don't like my brisket too smoky, so really nice. Really good brisket. Okay, another Famous Dave special thin crust, right? Thin crust Chicago style pizza. Okay, super duper amazing. All right, let's go grab a slice here. All right, that's a really good pizza. A nice crispy thin crust. The topping is tastes really kind of moist, and great amount of cheese. Kind of how I like my pizza. So Dave, great job on the pizza, man. So you got great barbecue, great pizza, great wings, and lots of great wines at Tamarack Farms. We are in Hayward, Wisconsin, and if you guys ever come up this way, make sure you check out Tamarack Farms, right? And come see Dave. He might even greet you in person, sign you one of his autographed cookbooks too, and get some of his sauces and rubs here. Absolutely amazing food. Back to Famous Dave's cabin, and that is the aquarium smoker. Dave, you told me this is the place where you actually develop all your original recipes for your sauces and products.
This is it. This is where it all happens.
It's a real treat to be here. Dave's going to show me how he makes his special world famous legendary ribs on his aquarium smoker. All right, folks, this is hallowed ground, and this is Dave's cabin by the beautiful lake in Hayward, Wisconsin, and this is Dave's R&D shelf here. Can't tell you what he uses, but I see sugar. I see some hot sauce. So Dave, tell us about this R&D lab that you have here.
This is where all the secret recipes get done, and I just have lots and lots of seasonings and everything in bulk, and I just grind it all up. That's about all you could see though. I think the number one thing is to get fresh seasonings. Like in a couple months, I'll throw all this out and start all over again. But I always fresh grind everything. And that's the secret to getting and releasing that full flavor of what seasonings can do for your food.
I have to ask you, right? This thing is probably pretty expensive, right? Custom built. What kind of a moolah is needed to score one of these things?
Oh, they're custom made, hand built.
Yes. It's got a spinning pig too. Look at that. Point you in the right direction here. All right, Famous Dave is gonna give you guys a demo on how he trims his famous ribs, and these are pretty meaty. They are approximately 5 pounds.
So this is a spare rib. This is a whole spare rib. So we want to kind of see where the bone is.
So you just make a cut to remove the top piece, right? Or the rib tip.
I can remember as early as 1959 standing with my dad, 1959 on the south side of Chicago, going to Lim's for rib tips. 1959, imagine, all the way back then I was eating rib tips. Yeah, these are the rib tips.
We're gonna cook them in the pit here.
So this is what's called as a St. Louis rib. The membrane is what keeps all the juice inside. And it's the juice you don't want leaking out.
So you came here to learn Famous Dave's secret trick. So there you have it. So he leaves the membrane on before cooking, and he's gonna show us a special tip on how to deal with it during the cooking process. All right, we've lit up a chimney of charcoal, and you notice that we have a special arrangement. So Dave wants to put the wood in the back and one bag of briquettes, and we're gonna start the pit on this side. Gonna dump some of the hot coals on this side of the pit here and let it burn from my left to right. Fire starting up. Let's go ahead and season the grates here. I'm gonna spray with some Pam. All right, we're leaving about a 2-inch gap like this on all sides. It's about right. We got 4 gaps here. And we close the door. There you have it. That's how you set up an aquarium smoker. There's no damper for the flue. You just exhaust out normally.
But it's going to be a mustard brown sugar type of rub.
Mustard brown sugar. All right. So Dave just trimmed the meat. He showed you that. He left the membrane on his spare ribs. And St. Louis, he takes the membrane off so now he's applying a nice layer of mustard. Sometimes we call it schmear.
You know, ideally, if you could let this rest for about 6 hours or overnight, that would really be good.
So this, folks, is Dave's secret blend, which he's gonna put on. And you saw his R&D lab, so he went into R&D lab and pulled some special tricks out to show me, and that way he's gonna create some absolutely amazing Famous Dave ribs today. Our ribs have been rubbed with love by Famous Dave. How much seasoning do you need to put, or just go by feel?
I've done this
like
so much.
A million times, right?
Okay,
one eye, one arm.
I can tell you exactly how much there's an ounce.
And do you put rub on both sides or just one side?
You can.
Okay. What do you do?
I just put it on one side.
One side. Okay, here we go. Famous Dave's aquarium smoker. We got a fire down below. We got wood logs, and everything is coming along nicely. Cooking up a storm with my brisket sushi in Famous Dave's kitchen in his cabin in the woods in Wisconsin. And here's the sushi rice. I made the rice. We cooked it in the pit, and it's dried up nicely. I added my little sushi slurry, which is salt, sugar, vinegar, adjusted to the tartness you want. You want to kind of mix it into the rice to make kind of a vinegared rice, which is sushi rice. Let's get some toasted sesame seed that's on. Lay on some seaweed. Now to lay on some Famous Dave's famous brisket. All right, so we have some imitation crab with some mayo going on top. Let's grab this hot sauce here, Louisiana hot sauce. Brisket sushi in the aquarium pit. I have never used aquarium pit before. And and like a little salmon skin roll. You just pop that in your mouth if you can fit, or just bite right through it. Like that.
It's tasty.
If you want to serve it in a barbecue restaurant, entertain your buddies while the main course is getting ready. It's the sushi, guys. So, famous Dave taught me how to cook his famous ribs, the rib king of the world. Now, Harry reciprocates with a little bit of California brisket sushi.
I like to kind of take a number of my sauces and just kind of blend them together. I got some sweet and zesty here. My award-winning, the #1 sauce, Rich and Sassy.
Rich and sassy.
And then I got to add a little spice, Texas Pit, which is more of a peppery type barbecue sauce. And then a little secret here.
Okay, guys, big reveal only on this channel here.
A little shot of Kahlua.
Kahlua,
Not
right?
a lot, but just enough.
Just enough to give it a little bit of a kick. We have a Weber kettle, blazing hot, probably 600 degrees. And Dave's secret method. Dave, you want to tell the world what your secret method is?
Well, primarily what we're doing is we're going to char the membrane. We're going to char the membrane off, and then we're going to caramelize the sauce on the ribs.
Famous Dave's method of removing the membrane is not to fuss over pulling it, because he wants to keep the moisture in when he cooks. He's just letting the fire do the work, char the membrane right off. A little caramelized sauce. Whoa, that looks good. About how many minutes on each side?
No, we don't go by minutes.
Oh, just go by feel. Bingo, done.
Woohoo!
Famous Dave's. Mahogany color, caramelized nicely. All right, Famous Dave ribs, ready to rock and roll. All right, Dave, take a bite.
Oh my God, is that delicious?
Delish. There you have it, Famous Dave's ribs here.
And look at bone; they're so done. Comes right off the bone, so you can see all the juice in there.
Nice char also. All right. Super delish. That char on the sauce on the outside makes a difference. A little bit of tang, a little bit of char on the fire. Just a perfect rib here. Courtesy Famous Dave. If you guys want to try his sauce, go find it at the local Walmart, right? And
Any grocery store.
any grocery store has his ribs, and super duper delish. So enjoy. The main lesson from my 500 videos is the diversity of barbecue methods. Famous Dave buys over 17 million pounds of ribs with sales of 200 plus million before he diversified his company. So the Rib King really knows his ribs. And he used many tricks, including a mustard and dark brown smear. Surprised me by not pulling the membrane. He put 1 ounce of rub on one side only. No Texas crutch or foil. He spiked his barbecue sauce with coffee flavor from the Kahlua. Mixed his 3 sauces together, and at the end, used 600 BTU heat to burn up the cooked membrane, and then he slapped on 2 layers of sauce with a mop without burning the ribs. Pay careful attention to his speed and timing in the membrane burn off, and how he flips it so he does not burn the sauce. It's these tiny details that results in a Famous Dave's rib. And if you blink, you missed his secret way to get sauce and a nice char flavor on his ribs. What do I think about my overall experience cooking with Dave? Without question, it's the best saucy ribs with the hint of char I've ever tasted, period. It's actually better than a Texas S&P rib, maybe, a KCBS full-on competition rib, the rib you cook in the backyard for your family, or even my competition rib with my first place chicken rub on the meat side and all-purpose on the bone side. Well, my answer is no overall, as there is no such thing as a perfect rib. Only excellent ribs. Even a boiled rib in hot water thrown on the grill with some Kraft barbecue sauce can be an excellent ribs. Folks, as I've said many times, barbecue is inclusive, never exclusive. So long as you're spreading barbecue love, your rib will be the best that you can serve, regardless of how you prepared it. That's really the message that both Dave and I wanted to share with this video. Thanks so much for stopping by, and to my patrons for supporting my channel. If you want me to go back to see Dave to learn more of his secrets, like how to make a rub and sauce, let me know in the comments below. As always, let me know if you have questions, as you know I read all your comments.